Planet Dolan.
Who rampaged through town in a bulletproof killdozer? Who is General Butt Naked and why is he called that? From gentlemen thieves to remorseless war criminals, here are 15 real-life supervillains that could have walked right out of a comic script. I'm Hellbent, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 15. Shoko Asahara was born with infantile glaucoma and went completely blind in his left eye and mostly blind in his right as a child. Still, that didn't stop him from growing up into a life of petty crime and eventually spirituality. Asahara managed to blend the two by becoming a messiah-like figurehead of a religious doomsday cult. And in 1995, his group was responsible for carrying out a sarin gas attack in the Tokyo subway, killing 13 people and afflicting thousands of others. Number 14. Lawrence Sullivan has the weird tattoos and the green hair, so he looks like the Joker, but his rap sheet reads more like a Joker goon. He was arrested for possession of marijuana and a concealed weapon. It doesn't appear that he's hurt anyone though. His family says the whole Joker getup is just him showing his artistic side. Number 13. Seattle, Washington found itself the background of an actual hero versus villain matchup as Phoenix Jones asked the people of Seattle to rise up and do some vigilante crime fighting on the streets. In opposition to this, Rex Velvet rose up to crush the Rain City superhero movement. And it appears that Rex Velvet actually won. Somebody apparently told Phoenix Jones that asking a bunch of random people to fight crime in the streets was a bad idea, so he disbanded the league and was forced to retire. Number 12. For the most part, Miguel Angel Travano, also known as Z40, was a typical drug cartel leader, but over time he gained notoriety for some unusually brutal Bond villain-like torture and executions. In addition to his pattern of leaving headless bodies on the side of the road or hanging them from bridges, Z40 also became known for stewing, in which he would throw a victim into a 50-gallon barrel of oil and set it on fire. Number 11. Comrade Dutch was the name given to a simple math teacher who came to oversee a prison known as the Factory of Death. He was the prison chief responsible for ordering and supervising over 12,000 murders. The victims were men, women, and children as young as 3 years old, who were interrogated, tortured, killed, and then dumped in a mass unmarked grave. Number 10. In 2004, Marvin Heemeyer was the owner of a small muffler shop, and he found himself on the losing end of a fight against a new concrete factory in his town. The factory blocked the only access road to his muffler shop, and the local government denied his attempt to create a new access road even though he had his own bulldozer to do it. So, in response, he created a supervillain's dream, the Killdozer. The Killdozer was the bulldozer Heemeyer was going to use to pave himself an access road. Instead of that, he armored up the vehicle and outfitted it with bulletproof glass, steel plating, and camera systems. Then he drove the Killdozer right into that concrete factory, destroying it and 12 other buildings in Granbury, Colorado, including the police department and the city council building. They tried to stop the Killdozer, but armor-piercing bullets and explosives just bounced right off. Somehow, nobody was hurt in the rampage, except Heemeyer himself, who took his own life once the dozer became stuck. Number 9. Luckily, Dr. Chaos never actually got to carry out his master plan, which appeared to involve a stash of cyanide in the Chicago subway system. We don't know what his plan actually was, but we do know that he was recruiting people to join his realm of chaos. Of course, the most chaos this group ever seemed to inflict was messing with the power substation to temporarily knock out electricity in a small town. Number 8. In 2005, a bank robber and con artist in Moldova started robbing banks using the power of hypnotism. His technique was reportedly to start a friendly conversation, establish eye contact, and then hypnotize the bank teller, convincing them to give all the cash in the till. It sounds like a ridiculous setup, but the robber pulled off the same trick at 6 different banks without getting caught. Number 7. Adam Worth joined the Union Army during the Second American Civil War, and after the Second Battle of Bull Run, he found himself declared dead, when he wasn't. He took this chance to stay dead and started re-enlisting under fake names to collect enlistment bonuses. This was the first crime for Worth in a life full of them. Throughout his life, Worth would go to rob and con people in the US, Europe, and even South Africa. But the gentleman thief also demanded that all of his associates pull off heists with only minimal violence.
Number 6.
This was the name given to a Liberian militia leader in the 1990s whose uniform was exactly what it sounds like. He led the Naked Base Commandos, a militia who wore charms, shoes, and nothing else. The general told his commandos that their nudity would make them immune to bullets. He also partook in cannibalism and ritual human sacrifice to give him magic powers. One witness saw him standing on top of a vehicle with a gun in one hand and another man's severed genitals in the other. Shortly after, he converted to Christianity.
Number 5.
Juan Rivera Velez is known as Two-Face because, well, he looks like the Batman villain of the same name. Obviously, he got the name Two-Face because of the severe facial burns on the left side of his face. Of course, Velez is also a hardened drug dealer who is convicted of not only large-scale narcotics distribution, but also killing a witness that was poised to testify against him.
Number 4.
Alexander Solenik was sometimes known as Alexander the Great, but he was also known as Super Killer because he was one of Russia's most dangerous contract killers in the early 1990s. It's impossible to know exactly how many hits Super Killer carried out because he never revealed his kill count and nobody ever discovered who his paying clients were. But we do know that he was responsible for carving a path of corpses through some of Russia's most prominent underworld figures, as well as Moscow's Capitol Police Force. Even after he was apprehended in 1994, investigators were unable to obtain any new information about his hits.
Number 3.
In 1957, Francois Duvalier, better known as Papa Doc, was elected president of Haiti on an extreme right-wing anti-communist platform. His regime immediately started carrying out a string of secret police killings and torture campaigns, while also demanding unofficial taxes and tributes from business owners. But despite the brutal regime, Papa Doc kept a generally favorable public image by maintaining strong relationships with Haiti's religious community, in this case voodoo priests. Papa Doc declared himself invincible and an immaterial being because of his attunement with the voodoo spirits and spurred rumors that he had supernatural powers. Of course, that support was short-lived, so when it seemed like he would lose his upcoming election in 1964, Papa Doc simply declared himself president for life.
Number 2.
Gerald Blanchard knew there was no way he was ever going to be able to sell the CC Star, the Australian royal jewel worth over $2 million. But a few seconds after seeing it behind bulletproof glass and endless security measures, he decided he definitely wanted the challenge of stealing it anyway. So he arranged a charter flight to skydive to the roof, disabled most of the security cameras with a butter knife, and swapped the artifact with a gift shop replica. He completed the crime so swiftly it was 2 weeks before anyone knew the jewel was missing. That was one of many clever robberies in his early years, but later in life, Blanchard is more of a two-bit con man than a super thief. He's currently facing charges for shoplifting a number of game consoles from a Best Buy in Ontario, Canada.
Number 1.
Richard Iceman Kuklinski is one of the most prolific contract killers to ever confess his crimes. By his own count, Kuklinski murdered over 200 people in his career, including Jimmy Hoffa. His confessions in the early 2000s were unusual for someone in his line of work, and they continued until about 2006. That's when he was scheduled to testify against noted mafia boss Sammy Gravano, saying that Gravano had hired him for a hit on a police officer in the 1980s. But before he could testify, Kuklinski turned up dead in his prison cell under suspicious circumstances. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.